In any case, guys, like I said, I hope you're all doing well. We're going to go ahead and get into it, and the good stuff. Now, after work, guys, I did take the time to watch Pitch Black, the first of a trilogy, the Riddick trilogy, I guess, if you want to call it that. Came out in 2000. 20 years old this movie is. It's crazy right now. You know, when it was released, it was, despite getting pretty, mixed reviews, it's gone on to be, a cult film. Actually, well-liked by a lot of people. Sci-fi enthusiasts especially. Had a budget of about $23 million. You know, modest budget. It's pretty good, actually. And a box office of 53.2. Made a lot of money on VOD, though, chat. You know, because he just grew as a cult film for so long, and he's typically looked at as probably the best entry in the Riddick trilogy. I don't like the sequel. It just got fucking weird. I think it forgot what it was, because, you know, the first movie is very much, it's a survival horror story in space, survival action horror. It's like Aliens. It's very it's very inspired by Aliens, obviously. And the sequel's like, let's go fucking fantasy and huge armies and prophecies and undead specters. Like, wait, what the fuck is happening? And then, well, okay, well, that didn't work. And then they went back to the basics, just making the third film, Riddick, which was kind of the same thing as Pitch Black. He's fucking stranded in an alien world. He's got to survive. A whole bunch of, you know, people, some mercs he's got to band together with and get the hell out of there. I like Riddick a lot. It's not as good as Pitch Black, because, I mean, again, it's kind of a repeat of what we saw previously, but still a very enjoyable movie. Very enjoyable movie. Dave Pancake. Thank you, Tiffany's. Also, I'm sorry, I think I missed someone else's donation. Oh, no, Dark Slayer, thank you again for the 5 bits. Appreciate that. Thank you so much, guys. Very, very kind of you. But no, I really do have a lot of love for the first Pitch Black film. You know, it came out at a time where people were thirsting for, like, a good alien horror movie. In the same vein as something like Aliens, this kind of delivered that. There are aspects about it that just have aged poorly. A lot of the aliens are pretty much CGI creatures for the most part. There are a few scenes where they have some practical effects, but the CGI it doesn't look great. You know, sadly. You know, there's so many good things about this movie, including just the fun cast of characters that you have in here. Vin Diesel's performance. You know, I really liked, what's the actress's name? Rada Mitchell plays Carolyn Fry, who's kind of like the captain of the movie. Funny enough, Chad, apparently, originally, kind of to just skip ahead a little bit, you know, Riddick was supposed to die at the end of this film, and she was supposed to survive. But the studio kind of mandated the switch because they thought the Riddick character would be more popular, and they wanted the potential franchise on their hands. So that's why they made the switch. It was interesting. I mean, it's true. It's definitely true. But I still liked her character in the movie. Very different. I liked how she grew. She had a bit of an arc, chat, which is why I appreciate it. Yeah, but overall, I still really enjoyed the film. I'm curious about you guys. Do you guys like Pitch Black before we get into the spoiler review? American, they did ban the sequel, but we got to say, yes, both games, Butcher Bay and Dark Athena, were very enjoyable. Yeah, it was also, those games at the time were some of the few, like, titles based off of, like, a previous property. Like, movie-based tie-in games that actually were good. That was very, very rare to see. Young Rambo, Skyrim Lore Master, good to see you, my friend. Just watched the Bleach live stream announcement, so happy the final arc is getting in. Oh, that's cool, man. Yay! Iron Laser, I enjoyed Pitch Black. Did you play the Riddick? I did. I played both of them. Really enjoyed both. I'll stream those someday. Butcher Bay and Dark Athena. Generally, Pitch Black was better than Jack Carpenter's Ghost in Mars? It was. Yes, I agree. Ghost in Mars is a terrible film, so I think a lot of films are probably better than that one. A lot of films are. Dave Pancake, thank you for the 5 minutes, man. Thank you for the support. Really do appreciate it. We're going to go ahead and get into it, guys. So here we go. It's Pitch Black. It is the distant future, and we're following a colony ship, chat, and it's a very terrible CGI colony ship. Again, the CGI in this movie has not aged well. Now when you look back, it's like, oh, those might as well just be PS2 cutscene graphics. But we're just going to let it go for now, because this is what the time the movie came out. Everyone loved using CGI instead of practical effects, and this is what we got to expect. But as this terrible CGI ship is flying through space, they're coming upon this world, chat, and some fucking hot rot meteors hit it. And they go inside the ship, and it gets blasted off course. And so, everyone on the ship, the most important crew members here, chat, they're telepods, they're cryopods, they're just waking them up as fast as possible. But before the captain of the ship, whose name I don't know what his name is, chat, that's not important, because he dies very horrifically, chat. Fucking rot hot meteors pierce his body like magma, chat, and he's dead very, very quickly. We're following our character, Carolyn. Carolyn, chat. She's the dock specialist on the ship. Her little cryopod pops open, as does the other her co-pilot. Her co-pilot's pod, he pops open. They're just laying on top of each other. They're all sweaty. They're shaking, chat. He's complaining, why is the gravity on? This doesn't make any sense. I nearly broke my leg. It doesn't matter. We gotta save the ship. Also in the back of the ship, we got Riddick, Mr. Vin Diesel. He's a prisoner being transported back to a maximum security prison, chat. He's done a whole lot of bad things, apparently murdered, hijacked a ship, but a security official from a supposed security official has captured him, and they're going back this way to the maximum security prison, and he's narrating, he's talking about all the wonderful characters we're going to be introduced to. Keith David's in this, chat, and he is a worshiper of Allah. And he has his 3 sons with him, and just a whole bunch of other people. We have Chloe Frazier from Uncharted 2. She's in this. Her voice actress also played Morrigan in Dragon Age. We have a very British man who likes to appropriate other cultures and sells them for the highest price. And then we have a little scrawny teenager who talks a lot of shit and is appropriating, and will later appropriate Vin Diesel's bald head and glasses. Don't particularly like that character, very annoying. Anyway, chat, so fucking ship's captain, he's got a tummy full of meteor right now. Carolyn, she's trying to right the ship along with this one guy. Now, the guy who's the co-pilot, he says, listen, you gotta go down there to the section of the ship and just get the flaps open, and so we can land the ship on this planet. Get those flaps open. She goes down there, chat, she tries to get the flaps open, the flaps are not working, and they're beelining towards this planet. And she's, like, fuck this. And she activates one of those flaps, chat, and all the fucking people get sucked out. And it's like, oh my god! Well, no, actually it doesn't happen yet. She wants to do that, chat, but she's unable to. She's like, fuck these people, I'm gonna save myself. And she tries to activate it, chat, but she can't, it's stuck. And her co-pilot's like, what the hell are you doing? We gotta save these people, you're being irresponsible. She's like, I am going to live, sir. Thank you very much. She's still trying. He gets out of his pilot seat, chat, he jams some stuff, and she's unable to do it. She's unable to eject those sons of bitches back there, and just to save herself, chat. Now, this is the hero of our movie, the co-pilot. I can't wait to see what happens to him. And so, chat, as she's just trying, it's like, all right, fuck it, now I have to try to land this thing. The flaps are not working, chat. Heading beelining right towards the planet. They end up crashing, chat. The fucking co-pilot, who is pretty much the hero of the movie so far, he's in like a little chair, and he gets fucking tossed around the room, stabbed repeatedly with rebarb. It's going all into his tummy and chest, chat. He is not having a good day, but he's the hero of the film. I'm sure he'll be fine. And so they crash, chat. We cut to the other cryopods. Keith David, he's waking up along with his sons. The British cultural appropriator, the colonizer, chat, he's waking up out of his pod. Fucking Chloe, everyone's getting up, including the bounty hunter. Bounty hunter, he gets out of his, I always spoil it for you, chat. He's the bounty, so here's the thing. He pretends to be a lawman for like the first half hour of the movie. He's like the security official from a prison. Nah, chat, he's just a bounty hunter and needs his next fix. He's addicted to morphine, which, funny enough, chat, the actual actor was a druggie. He had a drug problem too, so it's like, of course he would be the best person to play that kind of character, wouldn't he? So, chat, he gets out of his cryopod, and he looks over at Riddick's cryopod, Vin Diesel. Vinny D is gone, chat. During all the commotion, during all the wrestling, he's escaped. And so they've landed this fucking thing roughly, and everyone's still trying to get their bearings and shit. And the bounty hunter, he's just looking for Riddick. He's going through all the wreckage right now, and he's like, I think I found him. And then all of a sudden, Vin Diesel's muscular thighs wrap around the bounty hunter's neck. He just starts squeezing. It's like it's gonna pop him like a watermelon, chat. But the bounty hunter has like a little stick, and he starts hitting Vin Diesel in his tummy with it. And then eventually Vin Diesel's like, my tummy's hurting too much, and he falls down. And then he captures Riddick, and he ties him to this pillar in the ship. And then they go off to find Carolyn and the rest of the crew and the survivors, chat. And so Carolyn, she's looking for her co-pilot friend. She finds him just chest and tummy full of rebarb. He is not looking good. He's screaming horrifically. She's like, I don't think I should take that out. And he's like, don't touch it, don't touch it. And, and Chloe Frazier, she comes in and is like, yeah, that's like super close to his heart, so if you pull that sucker out, he is definitely gonna die. Carolyn, she tells everyone, just get the fuck out of here, just leave, let me be here with my friend. And, he's just screaming. I thought there would be like a conversation, like, you tried to kill these people. You have to protect them, but he didn't do that, chat. Because then the next scene, we cut back to him. She pulled the rebarb out, and he is dead. It's not looking good. Meanwhile, we have the whole crew. They're talking to the bounty hunter. He's telling them, yes, you go ahead and stay away from Vin Diesel. He's got thighs of steel, and he'll smush you. He'll smush you like a watermelon. He'll just pop you. And everyone's like, all right, fuck, we won't do that. And they're on a very arid desert planet, chat. There's multiple suns. Oh, who we have here? We got a new follower, chat. New Huckleberry. RSA, thank you so much for the follow. Welcome to stream. Hope you're doing very well today. Just talking about Pitch Black right now, doing a spoiler review. Sorry, my tummy is hurting too much. He's the Morphine Man. Oh, that's what I should call him, the Morphine Man. Darkslayer, thank you. Yes, okay, the bounty hunter is now the Morphine Man, chat. We'll explain why. So, Carolyn, she gets out of the ship. They're just surveying everything. Oh, also, there's meat, Chad. There's disposable meat in this movie. There's a character named Zeke. He's like boyfriend, the husband of Chloe Frazier from Uncharted 2. He's in this too. But they're just surveying the damage, and everyone's like, hey, Carolyn, you know what? Despite our circumstances, you're the reason why we survived this. You landed the ship. Yeah, there was a whole bunch of destruction, and there's a lot of dead people back there, but hey, it's because of you we survived. And everyone's like, yay, Carolyn. She's like, oh, no, because she doesn't deserve it, chat. She was going to kill all those fuckers. She didn't give a damn about them. She just wanted to save herself and her co-pilot buddy, who has all the rebarb in his chest and tummy. He's dead anyways. Doesn't matter. So she's the only one that knows, chat. Or does she? And so everyone's like, okay, let's get some equipment and let's try to look for a settlement. They see like a settlement out in the distance, chat. They also see like these weird rocks, like these hollow rocks, and let's go over there. That might be some shade or something. Also, they're also starting to bury some of the dead, chat, because they're going to start rotting out there in the sun. It's going to be very stinky out there. So you got people doing that. Meanwhile, chat, Vin Diesel's like, well, fuck this. I'm getting the hell out of here. And so he just proceeds to break all the, I don't know how he does this, chat. I don't know if he's an alien or something, but proceeds to break all the bones in his arms, or at least pop them all out of their sockets. And so he's tied behind this, and he just all right, fuck it, and just, I don't know, he does some weird praying mantis insect shit, and he's able to get out of the rebarb, chat. He's just popping and locking all of his limbs back in, and he escapes. And the Morphine Man's like, listen, it's a big situation. Yep, it's important to survive on this desert world that apparently no one's been to. But we gotta go get Vinny D. He's run out there. He's a dangerous criminal. He murdered a person, murdered a pilot of a spaceship. So if he gets a hold of another ship, he's gonna leave our asses behind. So we definitely gotta find him. Also, chat, Morphine Man is talking to Carolyn. And since he is also a pilot of some renown, he realizes I noticed down your docking station that you would flip the switch there. So you were all going to eject us. And he's like, yeah. He's like, hey, don't worry about it. I would have done it too. Don't listen, we got to survive the situation. And it's just between you and me. It's just a little secret. We're going to keep between us. She's like, oh, thank you, Morphine Man. I'm sure that won't come back to bite me in the ass later in the movie. So, and also fucking Vin Diesel's behind her too. They get to the one part in the movie because now they're going to the other settlement chat just to scope things out, looking for power cells. Because they got to try to get the ship moving again. And they go to a fucking elephant. Basically, they go to the elephant graveyard in The Lion King. All these dead animals that just been picked fucking clean, chat. On this alien world, what the hell did this? We shall find out. And so Vin Diesel, he's hiding the bones and shit. And he's just sniffing. He's just sniffing her. He cuts he makes him a little makeshift bone knife and cuts part of her hair. He's just sniffing her, chat. He loves it so much, and he throws it away into the air. Meanwhile, chat, we cut back to the crash site, and our intrepid heroes, they're just scoping things out. We have Zeke. He's just taking the dead bodies over to the other elephant boneyard place. And all of a sudden, the colonizer, he is come upon by a crazy guy. He's like, oh, thank God, I thought I was the only one. But then he gets fucking blasted, chat. He gets blasted. And then come over and Zeke, he's like, why'd you do that? He was one of the survivors. Zeke's like, I thought he was Riddick. To be fair, Morphine Man didn't tell anyone what Riddick looked like, so that's why he probably panicked. But now we have a dead man on our hands, Chad. He was innocent. But Zeke's gonna get his. It's gonna be fucking quick, too. Because Zeke's like, well, I'm just gonna take this body over here so no one knows. And so Zeke, he goes to the elephant graveyard, chat. And he's dragging bodies over. Again, stupid. He hears like a fucking sound coming from one of the holes. He's like, I'm gonna go investigate that. Also, they're looking for water, chat. They're very thirsty. Maybe he's looking for water underneath the elephant graveyard. So he goes in there, chat. He's scoping things out. And then we get, again, this movie you could tell is of the late 90s, early 2000s era. Because a lot of fucking quick cuts, a lot of creative editing. It's really not. They're trying to mask what happens. It's just the camera's just moving like this. And then you just hear this, and you hear the sound. And he's like, and there's like all these flapping wings, chat, and blood being splayed everywhere. He's getting torn apart, and he's dragged down into the depths of the elephant graveyard of Mufasa. And so we then cut back to the camp, chat. Fucking Chloe Frazier's like, I hear my husband slash boyfriend slash partner getting mauled to death. I'm gonna head over there. So she starts running, chat. She starts running. She gets over there. She just sees fucking blood. Something happened to Zeke, and it was not good. Fucking Riddick, he goes, bah! He pops up there because he also heard what happened to Zeke. He tried to save Zeke, chat. He tried to reach for him, but he couldn't get him. He missed him like that. And fucking Chloe Frazier, she thinks Riddick killed him. The fucking Morphine Man, he comes in. He starts wrestling with Riddick, bashes him in the head. And he's like, I didn't do it. I didn't do it. I tried to save him. Someone else took him. And they're like, what took him? He's like, I don't know. It didn't sound too good now, did it? At one point, chat, they go to like a new facility. They find like another camp. There's like, oh, this has been habited once before, this world, and it was people here. And they also like, yeah, I guess they left in a fucking hurry because their clothes are still hanging on the rack. They got all this food here, all these weapons and shit. It's like very weird. It's like they just vanished. Like, well, that's probably not good. Maybe there's something else here that did it. But chat, during their little travels to this place, they do find a spaceship, or as they call it, a skiff. And they're like, oh, this is a good-looking spaceship, but what we need for this thing, we need some power cells. This thing has no power cells, so what we gotta do is we gotta head back to the camp, or the crash site in order to get those ship's power cells, and then bring them back over here. They also find a truck, chat, at that time at the new camp. And they're like, okay, well, we can just head over there. But then Morphine Man's like, let's wait a minute. Let's wait a minute here. Because he tells, oh yeah, at this point, Morphine Man also says, hey, we're going to actually need your help, Riddick. So we're going to have a bit of a parlay right now. I will let you go as long as you help us in this situation. And, you could just ghost. You can just get the hell out of here, man. I'm not going to collect the bounty. We all got to survive this. And Riddick's like, I don't trust you for a fucking second, Morphine Man. You are Morphine Man. You're addicted to drugs. Of course, why would I trust you? And so he's like, all right, sure, whatever. So they have like a bit of a stand-up chat. Riddick goes on his way. Morphine Man, he talks to Carolyn. He says, listen, all right, Riddick, we shouldn't trust Riddick. Yeah, he's being all helpful right now and everything, but nah, he's a murderer. You know how he escaped from the prison? He escaped from the goddamn prison, killed a pilot there, like yourself, a captain, nonetheless. And he just got out of there, and I've been tracking him ever since and finally caught him. So you trust him. You know what, matter of fact, let's just leave him here to die. Fuck him. Let's have him do all the heavy lifting, and we'll just leave him here to die. Sound good? She's like, I feel uncomfortable about this. Meanwhile, Riddick is like, I fucking heard that. He goes over to her. He says, listen, it's bullshit. He's not a fucking security official. He doesn't work for the interstellar government. Nah, he's a merc. He's a bounty hunter, and he's just looking for his next fix. She's like, really? He's like, yeah. Why would I lie to you? Why would I fucking lie? I mean, yeah, I could kill you and take the ship and everything, but I'm being honest right here. And so Carolyn's like, all right, I'm getting a lot of information, a lot of exposition being thrown at me. I'm going to go ahead and talk to Medicine Man over here. And so I love it. As soon as Riddick tells her, yeah, he's just getting for his next fix, we see fucking Morphine Man getting the morphine, putting a fucking needle in his eye, just, whoa, getting the good stuff. Chase's like, you are a drug. He's like, yeah, I'm a drug. Yeah, I lied. And then his personality just changes completely. He's like, yeah, I don't really care. I'm just here for my next fix. I want to get him, back to the prison. I can make my money and then inject more morphine to my body. And she's like, you're an asshole. He's like, I don't give a shit. Unless we got to get out of here nonetheless. Meanwhile, exploring the facility, chat, one of Keith David's kids, he wandered off. Oh, that's what I love about this movie, chat. This movie doesn't give a fuck. It will murder a kid in the most graphic way possible. It does not care. It harkens back to the day when they would just murder children. It's like, all right, good for you, movie. Not cutting corners. I admire that. And this kid, he wanders off. He's opening places where he shouldn't open, chat. He goes in this one little building, turns on the fucking lights, and then we see these fucking horrific CGI bat creatures just freak out and they attack him, chat. They start scratching his face and shit. He gets the hell out of there. He goes into like a little alcove room, shuts the door, nice and dark. He's like, whew, I'm glad I'm safe. And he hears something tap on that shoulder, turns around, bites his fucking face off. And everyone, they hear the scream, and obviously because the kid doesn't have a fucking face anymore. They head over there, chat. They see these bat creatures just flapping. And they turn on the rest of the lights, and these bat creatures go down to this hole, back into the earth of where they were, this cavern, chat. And like, that wasn't good. They open the other door, chat, and this other fucking thing, more bat creatures, they hop out, they go down the hole, and they're like, where's Keith David's kid? Well, there's some of them, right there. The fucking body falls over, and just the face is just, chunks of it are just gone. It looks pretty good. Practical effect in the sequence, chat. Not CGI. This is practical. It was rough looking. So that kid number one, Keith David, you keep counting me, chat. He's got 3 kids. He's down 1 at this point. Let's see if the other 2 are going to be okay. So, they're like, okay, I love Keith David does not give a shit, too. He's like, oh, well, I still got 2 more. And they go ahead, they bury that one kid, and they're like, all right, there's some on this planet. We gotta get going pretty quick. Meanwhile, exploring the camp, chat, I think one of them finds like I don't know, some kind of, like information. Like it's a little chip. And there's Carolyn finds this like little chip thing, and she's like, this looks important. And she goes back to this one building she was in, which had this like little interstellar map thing, and she plugs this little chip into it, and it 22 years ago, exact, chat, to the day, apparently there was a solar eclipse that masks the planet in total darkness for, I guess, a year or something. It's a long goddamn time. It's a long time. And she's like, oh, this is like on the dot. And everyone goes outside. Everyone's like, hey, come outside. Come outside and see this. And the fucking solar eclipse is happening, Chad. Like, we gotta get the hell out of here. Marines, we are moving. It's like, 'cause they gotta go back to the crashed ship, Chad, and grab those power cells. It is very important at this point. And so like, okay, let's fucking head over there. Let's do it. And so they all pile in the car, Chad. They're fucking driving out there. Everyone's like, okay, let's grab, they get to the crash site, chat. They start getting the power cells. They're loading up and everything. Some people are like, I gotta get my, I love it. The British guy, I have to get my important knickknacks, the things I've stolen from other cultures. Please wait for me. You'll wait for me, right? And you're like, sure. And he runs off, chat. He's getting his knickknacks and shit. But that solar eclipse is happening real quick. And Riddick's like, yeah, those things are coming. And all of a sudden, chat, the fucking CGI bat creatures, they burst out of the elephant boneyard. And they start coming right towards our intrepid heroes. And everyone's like, all right, let's go to the fucking colonizer over there in that big old crate he's hiding out in. So they start running there, chat. And the only 2 people that are out there still is Riddick and Chloe Frazier. And these fucking bat creatures are like, I want that ass right now. Both that Vin Diesel and that Chloe Frazier ass. They're just bouncing, chat. That is a lot of meal right there. And they're heading right towards them, chat. But, both Chloe Frazier and Vin Diesel, they have the survival instinct. They drop to the ground when these bat creatures swoop at them. And the bat creatures, they can't, clearly, it's like they don't have great vision. And so they miss both of them. But Chloe Frazier's like, she's a little antsy at this point. So she gets up a little faster than Vin Diesel does. And she heads right to that container. But it's too late, chat. The bat creatures get her. And they tear her apart. They start munching on that booty butt pretty quick. They literally rip her in 2. And she's going, to get CGI flailing around. Again, the CGI does not work out. But it's still a graphic death. So Chloe Frazier, she is done. Vin Diesel's like, well, that's unfortunate. He just fucking walks. he fucking just struts back to that cargo container. And he gets in there. Mr. Lowry, welcome to the stream. And thank you for the 100 biddies, good sir. These streams have become my only reprieve from COVID-19 trouble effects. Oh, I really appreciate that, man. I'm sorry. I hope you're doing okay. Nonetheless, it's good to have you here. I really miss Chloe Frazier, chat. I liked her in this movie. I like that actress, too. She's been in a lot of stuff. But then she got eaten. That was disappointing. Anyway. So he starts strutting to this cargo container. They shut this thing, chat, but then they hear all the wow, like outside. Also, Vin Diesel sees in the distance, yeah, those are just the fucking babies, because then the big old adults start coming out. These guys, they're like the aliens from the Alien franchise, except they can fly. That's pretty much what they are, and they have like these really wide, long heads. And they're CGI. And it's like, oh, that's not good. And so they hide in the cargo container, chat. The fucking British guy, he's freaking out. He wants to get out of there. And they hear the wow, wow, and they decide like, oh, they must be like bats. They must hear through like sound or something. And Rick's like, it's probably it. And then chat, they're like, they're still freaking out because they're like, they're hammering on that cargo container. And they're like, okay, maybe there's something, maybe there's another room. And they start checking all the walls, chat. They see there's another compartment. They go inside that compartment. And they notice that, oh, we're actually, matter of fact, we're on top of the other half of the ship. So the other half of the ship is below us. So we're going to cut through that and we'll be in another, like, cargo room type area and get all of our knickknacks and shit. And so they go in there, chat, and they're exploring this thing. Vin Diesel, he fucking wanders off. He's like, you guys are basically me. I'm gonna hang back a little bit. Want to keep David's kids. Kid number 2, Chad, he wanders off. Just like the first one. And he goes into Vin Diesel's hiding spot and he's like, this is not a good time. Because then there we got those 2 big flying aliens already above him, Chad. And this kid, and Vin Diesel's like, don't move. Don't panic. Just stay still. You're going to be okay. And this kid, he's not listening. he hears Keith David calling for him. He's like, Dad! He fucking runs off, and these things rip his ass apart, Chad. They eat him, too. So how many kids are we down now? 2. How many are left? 1. In the span of a half hour, Keith David has at least lost 2 kids. Maybe this one will survive. Maybe the last one. He's the smart one. So you guys asked for the part. Keith David, again, could not give a shit less. He's like, I still got 1 though. Whatever, what are you gonna do? I gotta live and tell because Morphe Man who's just like, I'm now the asshole of the movie now. Just to let you guys all know I'm the asshole. Yeah, we'll light a candle for him later. It's like, Jesus Christ, dude. We get it, you're the evil person now, but come on. Laying it on fucking thick. He just wants that morphine shit. He just wants his next fix. Matter of fact, he keeps like all of his morphine in these shotgun shells, like multiple. He just keeps injecting into him. He wants to get that high. He's like, even though we're all gonna die, I'm gonna get high. I don't give a shit. Anyway, so they're like, okay, we gotta come up with a plan. These things, all they know is because the fucking morphine man, he shoots one of them, and it falls, and they put like the light on. It's like, oh, light hurts them. It like physically burns their skin. It hurts them. It's like, cool, all right. So we just put like a whole bunch of lights around us, and we can just hightail it to the facility with the ship. We can get out of here. We could survive this. We're like, okay, let's make this little makeshift sled. Lit up all the power cells on there. Let's put a whole bunch of Christmas lights around us. Yeah, let's use some flame torches and shit. We'll be okay. Some flashlights, chat. We're gonna head out there. Everyone's like, okay, make sure. Vin Diesel also says, oh, make sure you're not cut because these things can smell you. Clearly, they can also track. Like, got a good old nose. So make sure you clean up all your cuts or mask it with something. They all do that shit, chat, and everything. Also, the kid in the movie, Jack, who's not one of Keith David's kids, very annoying, has also been like, I want to be like the psychotic murderer from the prison. So he shaves his head, also wears like some makeshift, again, just an annoying character, whatever. So they do that, chat. So they all get prepared. They're ready to go. Fucking Morphine Man, he's just acting like an asshole. He's already saying, Carolyn, fuck it, whatever. We should just get going. I think at this point, chat, he even admits, or is it at this point? Yeah, it is. Oh no, not yet. Something else happens. Okay. And so I'm like, okay, let's get fucking moving. So they all hook it up, and he's just like, okay, I'm gonna lead us, because he can see in the dark too. Oh, I forgot to mention that, chat. So there's a whole backstory of Riddick. You know, he's lived on this prison planet for like most of his life. And they said, it's like, okay, well, in order to survive, like in complete dark, they told me, I'm like, in this prison complex, it's mostly dark. And it's like, the only way that you can really survive is you can see in the dark. And so he paid some guy 20,000 packs of menthol cigarettes, do this surgery on my eyes so I can see in the dark. So sunlight also hurts him, but he can see really well in the dark. So he does, that's why he wears the goggles, let's have those big flashing light eyes. He's like, so I can lead us out of here, keep those lights behind me, on me, so I don't get attacked by these creatures too. And then they start moving, chat. They start moving, grooving. But of course, some of the lights start to go out. The fucking British guy, he fucking panics. And he's like, run! He just runs off. He's like, you idiot, what are you doing? He runs off, chat. His light sources get all disconnected. Everyone else's light sources get disconnected. They're starting to turn things on. But he's off on his own, chat. He's like, I'm dying anyway. He just takes one last swig, chat, of whatever whiskey he's drinking. His little lighter blows into it, fucking illuminating with light. This is a cool scene, and like hundreds of these fucking creatures are around him, and they tear his ass apart, chat. The colonizer is dead. He will no longer appropriate any more cultures. Good riddance. So we're back to the group, and they're not having a good time at this point. Because Riddick, because I think at this point, the fucking Morphine Man, he tells everybody, oh yeah, it's Carolyn, she's a bitch. She was gonna leave us all to die. Fuck her. Listen to me. Where are my drugs? And he's just injecting all the drugs in his eyes. And then she's like, yeah, I was gonna leave all you people to die. I'm sorry about that. And they're like, fuck it, we don't care. Let's just get the fuck out of here. You're doing okay. At one point, Riddick is like, okay, well, we got, now they're gonna keep track of us because they can smell blood. And like, none of us is cut, none of us is injured. It's like, nah, one of you is bleeding, chat. And apparently, the character, the other kid character that's not Keith David's son, Jack, is actually a girl. And she's bleeding because she's on her period. And it's like, wow, oh shit, okay. and she's like, I'm sorry, I didn't want to say anything. I thought I'd be safer if I said I was a boy. And they're like, everyone, first they're mad at her, but she starts crying. It's like, don't cry, please, we gotta get the fuck out of here. And fuck, I love it. Morphine Man, he does not give a shit. And just like, I just want my drugs. He's like, all right, well, someone put a fucking cork in that kid and let's keep moving. Someone stop the flow and let's keep walking. And at this, again, I'm like, he's an asshole, Jeff, but they give him so many great lines. I'm like, all right. I gotta hope he survives. I want to keep hearing him make these little phrases of his, just these asshole remarks. And at this point, he's got so much morphine in his body, he's like, I don't give a shit. Hey, Riddick, come over here. Come here. Oh, Bad Shields, thank you so much for the 15 biddies, sir. Welcome. I love Rick movies. I love Pitchback is great, man. I'm loving this film. Very, very fun. So he basically, he's like, come on, Riddick, come here, buddy. And so they start talking. He's like, hey, listen, man. Fuck these people, right? Who cares about them, all right? Matter of fact, you said these things, they track the scent of blood, right? He's like, hey, why don't we just leave some bait for him? Why don't we just do that? We'll just leave something in the back for him, then we can make the journey a little easier on us. Rick's like, it's not a bad idea, man, not a bad idea. He's like, yeah, you know what? Why don't you fucking gut that girl over there? Dude, she lied to everybody. She's bleeding already. Just fucking, keep letting the flow go, my friends. Like, keep letting the flow go. What an asshole. And Riddick's like, you know what, Morphine Man? I think we might need a bigger piece of bait. And he's just looking at Morphine Man. Morphine Man's like, yeah, maybe we do. He's just looking at Riddick right down the eye. And they start wrestling, Chad. They start wrestling. And everyone in the back's like, oh, fuck this. They're like, all right, let's let them fight. And Morphine Man and Riddick, they're just fighting, chat. Morphine Man, I love it. He's breaking Riddick's arms, and Riddick's just popping and locking him back in. He's fine, Chad. No problem. That cartilage, that bone, easy to repair. He's like Wolverine. And so at one point, he gets the drop on Morphine Man, Chad. He scratches in the back, and he says, beware the light. And he fucking pushes him, Chad. And meanwhile, they have a torch, like a big green glowing torch, and it slowly goes out. And Riddick, he just goes right into the dark. He's just super quick, and he's just slow. He's just like, see you later, man. Remember this. He just walks all the way back. And Morphine Man, now he's awake. Now he's not too calm like he was before. He's fucking panicking, chat. These things are fucking flying him. He's shooting him out of the sky. He's trying his best, but nah. Sees this one coming for him and fucking impales him right in his tum-tum. And in this thing, he's just looking up on this thing, and this creature just bites down right in his head, takes his head clean off. That might dull the creature's senses because there's so much fucking morphine in that skull right now that you could probably, if they feast on his body, those things will probably be put to sleep pretty quick. You can get moving. So he should have been the bait all along. Morphine Man would have been perfect bait. But alas, chat, we're back with the Intrepid Heroes. Riddick's like, all right, took care of Morphine Man. Let's get the fuck out of here, right? And then they go for this like little canyon area, chat. It starts to rain, like heavy fucking rainfall. Like, maybe this will mask us. But then, chat, the rain starts affecting the light now. And so this isn't good. Fucking Keith David's last kid, he gets fucking got. This is the one. Apparently, this was Keith David's favorite kid. Because when this guy gets fucking dragged out and torn apart, then Keith David goes, no! He starts crying, chat. So he didn't give a shit about those other two kids. He cared about this one. For whatever reason. What happens here? Oh yeah, so Riddick says, all right, listen, you guys are just a fucking hazard. Let me go back to the ship. Let me insert the power cells, and I'll come back for you, okay? I'll come back for you. And he's like, he goes off, chat, and we got Karen, we got Keith David, we got Jack. They're waiting in this little cave area. We got a big old rock right there to protect them. And Karen's like, I don't trust that sumbitch. And she goes after Riddick, chat. And Riddick, he's already powering the goddamn ship to leave. He's ready to blast out of there. And she's like, you son of a bitch! You said you were gonna help us. Rick's like, come on. Yeah, don't worry about it. Carol, you know what? I was gonna leave you. I'll admit it, I'll be on, unlike Morphine Man, I was gonna leave you to die. But, here's the thing. Why don't you come with me? Just come with me, Carolyn, but chat the guilt, the survivor's guilt, what she was gonna do. She can't do it. After what she tried to, she's having those flashbacks to when she was like, fuck these people. She's like, not again, I can't do that again. And when Riddick's trying to get her into the ship, he's like, don't worry about it, honey, you're gonna be fine. She jumps on Riddick and they start wrestling. They start wrestling on the ground, chat. And then Riddick apparently is impressed with her resolve, because he even asks her, like, would you die for them? Would you die for them? She's like, I would die for all of them. He's like, all right, I'll help you. And so they go out, chat. They go out, they rescue Keith David and Jack. They bring them back to the ship, chat. But meanwhile, they get cornered by one of the aliens. And Riddick's like, I'll take care of this. Because he also finds out a weakness. This is a cool scene in the movie, chat. He finds out a weakness. Apparently, while looking at a skeleton of one, he notices where its eyes are. And it's like a horse. It's like a horse, chat. So it sees like this. It's like, you know, that big derpy horse face. And he's like, if I stand directly in front of it, and wherever its head moves, it can't see me in front of it. And so it's like, okay, so I just got to do like this shit. And later on, Charlie's trying to get back to the ship while they're getting everyone ready. He encounters one of these, and it's a very cool scene. Again, the CGI, it's dated, but it's a cool scene, cool in concept. And where this thing lands directly in front of him, he just starts doing the whole head thing. He sees him in the dark. It's a very cool little scene, Chad. Very tense, very tense. And this thing's like, I can't fucking see Vin Diesel. I'm going to get out of here. But then one of the other creatures like, nah, the Vin Diesel's right there, because he drops up behind Vin Diesel. And then Vin Diesel's cornered back to front. He pulls out his knife. He's like, I'm ready to fight. Meanwhile, Chad, we cut back to Carolyn. She's like, all right, Vin Diesel, he's not coming. And maybe I should go out for him. And Keith David's like, fuck him. Let's just get the hell out of here. Watch the scene, guys, of when Carolyn's concerned about Vin Diesel. And Keith David's just like, fucking cares. Let's go. It's great. He's like, I am done. I want to take my money and go home. Let's get the hell. I've lost all my children. Fuck them. I'm going to adopt this kid right now, Jack. She's like, no, I gotta go out for Vin Diesel. And so she goes out into the night, chat. She finds Vin Diesel. He's defeated the creatures, but he's a little fucked up. He's got cut up. He can't really walk right. He's got a little bit of a derpy walk. But she helps him. She carries him on her shoulder, and they waddle back to the ship. But just before they get there, chat, when Vin Diesel's like, oh, thank you, fucking Carolyn, she gets right one in the tummy. She gets pulled away, Chad. This creature takes her off into the night. And Vin Diesel's like, no, not for me. Not for me. And he's very upset by this, chat. Fucking Vin Diesel, he gets back to the ship. He's pounding all the switches on and everything, but he stops. And Keith David's like, what the fuck is this crazy motherfucker gonna do? And Jack's like, what are you doing? And Vin Diesel's like, just saying goodnight. Because he powers everything down, Chad. The creatures start like getting all on the ship and on the engines and shit. Like there's all of them, like hundreds of them. And he's like, all right, good night. And fucking turns the ship on, blasts them all, chat. The light just turns them to ash, and he's fucking hitting these things with the ship. They're exploding in there like fucking gnats, chat, and then they're flying off into space. And then we get like a nice little conversation between, like, Keith David's like, I'm gonna go to bed now. I'm done. My scenes are done. E-Mike, thank you so much for the 40 biddies, Keith David, bro. Not in this. I mean, he was for a little while, but he's like, fuck these people. I want to get paid and leave. I am sleepy. But we got a nice conversation between Vin Diesel and Jack. And Jack's like, well, what do we say if we meet like some more people? If we meet a Merc ship, what should we tell him that happened to Riddick? And, Riddick says, tell him he's dead. And then they fly off, Chad. They fly off in the outer space for more adventures, including the sequel, The Chronicles of Riddick, which is not a good movie. I would skip that. See Riddick instead. See the third film. Very good. More like Pitch Black. Not as good, but very good. And Chad, like, honestly, that's Pitch Black, as I said. Very enjoyable sci-fi film, sci-fi action film, horror film. Like, the only thing that's holding it back is it's dated CGI. That's the thing. Like, anytime you have CGI from the late 90s to the the early 2000s, it's not going to look great, sadly. But despite that, I would still give it a full price. It's a very enjoyable movie. I highly recommend it to anyone out there who wants to see a cool sci-fi action horror film. I think Vin Diesel is very fun in it. He invents a cool character that goes on to great success. Not so much in Chronicles of Riddick, but certainly in Riddick. So I would check out both films in the future, guys. Maybe if you're curious, you want to see Chronicles of Riddick, but they're not like the other two. Not at all, that film. But still very enjoyable.